in the world start out and return to glory in the place where they started. That's a blessing. Not only that fact, the day he was interviewed, I'm sitting in my easy chair, and with my grandbaby Deja can sit here, and I'm looking at the interview, and I'm just proud of Mr. Scott and what he accomplished. But how he conducted the interview, never talking about what happened, just proud to be a leader and a leader. And young men, you need to understand that there are some times in life, and that's what we're talking about, when things don't go right, you still win. You still win. You still win. And there's three things that we want to talk about today that the superintendent has indicated. Being on time, the academic success, and being respectful. Being respectful and recognizing other cultures and their awareness and how do we get along in this society. Those are our goals, and we will fulfill those goals. At this time, my friend, someone that I love, my second son, Mr. Byron Scott.
How you guys doing this morning? I hear everybody up here. How you guys doing this morning? We gotta wake them up a little bit.
D1 down.
How you doing?
D1 down.
Guys, listen. The reason I came here to talk to you today is because of Mr. Jones. This is a man, I've been here to Centennial. This is my second time here since Mr. Jones has been here. The first time, probably talked to some of you students then, but the first time was to surprise Mr. Jones and just to let him know that I still love him and care about him and wondering what he was doing. I knew he was principal somewhere. I found out he was here at Centennial. You guys are blessed to have him here at Centennial, believe me. You're blessed. I had him at Morningside High School 40 years ago. Close to 40 years ago. You get close to 40 years ago, this man would run me down quad and tell me, go to class. Where's your next class at? Jones, I don't have a class this period. Yes, you do. Go to class. He stayed on me about education. And then I was blessed to meet a man named Jim Newman, who's sitting to my right at the end, who recruited me out of Arizona State. And I would always get these calls from the principal office when I was in class. You know, Byron Stafford, you work in the principal office. And I would sit there for 5 minutes trying to figure out what I did wrong that day to get called in the principal office. And every time it was more because Coach Newman and Mr. Jones had a relationship and he wanted to talk to me. Wait till lunchtime, take me out to lunch. That was in the way of recruiting. It took me a while to figure that out. But Mr. Jones was the guy that just stayed on me when I was in high school. And like everybody that's talked a little bit about choices to you guys, you know, it's two ways you can go. And I can contest to these ways because I've been in the world all my life. I grew up with the Crips and the Bloods. I grew up when it was infested with drugs. I grew up with every, 5 minutes you heard about a guy getting shot or beat. Well, we didn't get shot. Guys getting beat up by gang members and things like that. So I've been exactly where you guys are. I know what the neighborhood is all about. I've been there, done that. But the thing that I would do also, as Mr. Jones would tell me, there's always these two roads. There's that straight and narrow road. There was that big wide road that all of you guys can take, which leads to nowhere. It's that simple. Leads to nowhere. Now the straight and narrow road, there's going to be a bunch of bumps. There's going to be a bunch of detours. You're going to have to sometimes navigate your way back to that straight road. But how important is being successful to you? I was in the 7th grade when my mom and dad asked me, what do you want to be in life? What are you going to do? I said, I'm going to be a professional basketball player. Now, I think in the 7th grade, I might have been 12 years old. My mom said, well, what are you going to make? I said, I'm going to be a professional baseball player. So athletic-wise, that was always my dream. baseball players. Now the $1 million question, how many of you in the chosen sport that you are doing are going to make it to the pros? Okay, now all you guys are changing. Did you raise your hand? Put your hand back up. If one makes it, now all you guys raise your hands, you're lucky. If one of you in this auditorium makes it to the pros, you're lucky. The odds are so against you that it's unbelievable. You have a better opportunity to be the next Obama than you do to be the next LeBron. That's real. So why we stress education so much? Because let's say you do make it. What's your sport?
Baseball.
Baseball. You know the average lifespan of a baseball player? 4 or 5 years. You know the average lifespan of a football player?
Like 6.
Like 3. You know the average lifespan of a basketball player?
2. 10.
4. So let's say you go to school, you go to college, and let's say you do something a lot of dudes don't do now, and you go 4 years. So at 22 years old, you get drafted. At 26, 27, you're out of baseball. What are you going to do for the next 50 years of your life? That's the question. What are you going to do for the next 50 years?